You have anything funny for our opening?
Absolutely nothing. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz the Buddymeister.
And today we're going to talk about Newton, a recent film which had its world premiere only about a year ago at the Berlin International Film Festival, and it was released in India last September.
Newton is a Hindi language comedy drama co-written and directed by Amit v. Masurkar. It stars Rajkummar, Pankaj Tripathi, Anjali Patil and Raghuvir Yadav.
I already have to intervene, because comedy drama might be a bit misleading here. Initially I thought that Newton would be more of a straight comedy, and so I was kind of surprised that it actually is more of a drama with some humor injected into it.
It's exactly the same with me, especially because of some of the posters for the movie. I expected a more comical approach, but it didn't take that long to get into this movie and also to get the movie.
It's quite easy to get into the film. It really sucks you right in. It's about Newton, who is a government clerk on election duty in the conflict-ridden jungle of India. And he tries to conduct free and fair voting despite the carelessness of their security forces and the looming fear of guerrilla attacks by communist rebels.
The story and the movie itself are quite simple. It's reminiscent of slice-of-life narratives. There's not that much happening, everything is quite withdrawn and calm, even so with the cinematography, the colors and the music.
Yeah, it lets the audience breathe and think about what's happening.
It's a more nuanced film, the characters are very realistic, the actors and the actress are very natural, and so are the dynamics between all of them, especially when it comes to Newton and the military leader Atma Singh.
They could have easily just portrayed Atma as this stereotypical evil badass army guy, but he's not. There's no simple good versus evil here. It's a story of an idealist and a pragmatic realist.
Yeah, Newton is incorrigible, honest to a fault, and also strict when it comes to laws and rights. But through the other characters and the interactions with them, he loosens up. And so do the others, Newton and Atma, but first and foremost, Newton has to learn that things don't always go the way you want or like them to go.
There are many very important questions asked, like, what's really the point of an election if you don't know the people you are voting for? I mean, what are the consequences of the outcome for my life, or are there any at all?
And yet democracy is still something that must be fought for. So again, there is no black and white here. There is a fine line on which all people kind of have to make this balancing act.
This balancing act is one that the audience has to do as well. The story in itself might be simple, but where you see yourself in the story and on which side is not. I don't think everybody will be on Newton's side in the end. Both Newton and Atma stand for something that is right to a varying degree, I think.
Yeah, I think the staging of the characters and how it is all shot in these oftentimes very symmetrical shots supports this notion of the balancing of things.
The direction is pretty impressive and also expressive, and when the shells of our characters begin to break or fracture, like in the case of Atma and especially Newton towards the end of the film, we are treated with some very, very powerful scenes.
Yeah, the stress level of everyone involved in this jungle scenario increases with time. And it gets more dense, the tension is palpable, but it's never too grim or dour. There are always glimpses of hope and relief, I think.
Newton is a political movie that scratches the surface and then gets below the surface to bring deeper and bigger problems of a flawed system to light. It succeeds by very much basing it all in reality, I think.
These are problems that are well known all around the world, so everybody can get something out of this movie. It fits the slice of life narrative that we mentioned at the beginning, and that kind of comes full circle in the end in this nice little epilogue where we see Atma and Newton master their everyday life a few months after this election.
And let's not forget about all the other characters like Malko and Loknath, who also leave an impression.
Absolutely. And also let's not forget about the one song that's integrated in the second half of the movie.
That was my personal highlight, because it highlights the process of that small election in the middle of the jungle, and I found it to be very heartfelt and quite powerful.
So I guess that's it. In German, we'd say.
Newton ist ein scharfsinniger und subversiver Film, der systematische Probleme auf leicht zugängliche Weise aufzeigt und dabei mit tollen Darstellern und einer hervorragenden Inszenierung überzeugt. I give Newton 8 out of 10. It's more like 7.8, but I don't do that.
For me, it's also 8 out of 10. It's more like 7.7, but I don't do that either.
So that's it for today. We hope we got you interested in checking out Newton for yourself. And if you did that, please leave your thoughts in the comments below.
And well, just keep on recommending movies to us. The list is getting longer and longer, but we'll do our very best to work it off.
We try. Until then, you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, and of course Instagram simply at @TheJimmyCage.
And you can hit me up simply at The Buddymeister. And also check out my podcast, BUDDYMEISTER SCORES, where I talk about the music of film, television, and video games. It's available on iTunes and Stitcher.
And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like, and make sure you hit that bell for all we have to tell.